Let me see how fast.
I am the Flash.
Hey everyone, welcome to Just Us Bros podcast, where we talk about all your favorite fandoms, all your favorite nerddoms, and today we are talking about the jump from the small screen all the way up to the silver screen with The Flash. That's right, Ezra Miller, The Flash, the Speed Force. What are we expecting? As always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Petru.
Green Lantern.
And we have a special guest today. Mind introducing yourself to us?
Flashman. Nice to meet everybody.
Flashman. So, welcome, Flashman. We've known you for a couple of years now. So, the trailer, Super Bowl Sunday, probably, for people like us, the most exciting thing about the 4 quarters of football was in the pregame.
What do you mean, probably? That trailer was the most exciting thing from that game yesterday.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah. As soon as you watch it, it's over. What do we think of the trailer, guys? Like, what was your first, a special guest Flashman? Why don't you tell us? I mean, you got the name in your name.
It was an, oh my God, I hope they did it justice. Seeing all
Just
of these.
What?
I hope they did it justice.
Just us what?
Bros.
There you go.
I just, I saw all of the characters and people that we've fell in love with over the past few years and childhood memories. Seeing Michael Keaton in the suit again, the Batwing, the Batmobile, seeing all that nostalgia. And it's, oh my God, And then my first thought is, that was cheesy as hell the way he said that. But I loved it. I'm excited. I can't speak highly enough of the trailer. I mean, the trailer didn't have to go so hard, but it did.
Drew, what'd you think? I mean, it's bringing back your childhood Batman.
It definitely was. I really did try to do a reaction video of me like watching the trailer and then like real time reacting to it, but all I did, like you can ask Green Lantern, like all I did in the video is this. Oh, this is what? Oh, that's Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
He said it. And I was like, crap, I can't use any of that footage, but it was great. Like Flashman said, very nostalgic. Hearing the Danny Elfman theme and then seeing him walk up and then him saying, yeah, I'm Batman. And then, going into action. I mean, this is a Flash movie, but that scene in the trailer got me. It blew my mind.
A lot of the same sentiments. It was awesome. I'm really excited for the storyline. It definitely looks like they're drawing inspiration from Flashpoint, the comics, which I love that comic. That comic, along with the Green Lantern, Blackest Night, kind of got me into comic books and more into all this stuff that we're talking about today. So to see this live action on the screen, I could break it down scene by scene. Just even the scene where he's going back talking about his parents, and you see them together, and you see young Barry. It's again, I will mirror Flashman sentiments that I really hope they do it justice.
And that's what I I thought the same thing. It was awesome, and being as the comic book people we seen the Flashpoint animated series, and you're thinking, how are they going to do this different to make it different? It's hitting all those notes, but there's some differences in it, and I'm interested to see the way they take it. But I'm excited for it. I mean, there's a couple thoughts we can get into later with it, but I mean, especially for the last remnants of the DC past that we're coming to the end of this DC run, but where it's got the last couple movies, because it's Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman 2, and Flash. Those are the last real 3 that are there. So I'm interested to see what way they'll take it and what that means going forward into the Gunverse. But we also saw some new characters, old characters, and obviously we're all excited about Michael Keaton's Batman coming back.
And Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck. But I feel like we said it. We were more hyped up about 1989 Batman coming back.
I'm excited to see both of them on the same screen, hopefully
At the same time.
at the same time. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I love to see that. And just throw in Christian Bale in there too, just as a Easter egg, just to because you got the pastime. Who's better, Christian Bale, Batman, or Michael Keaton? And it's a big divide between that.
Yeah, go all Big Bang Theory when they're discussing it with Adam West.
Exactly.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but with other characters though, they have we did say Batfleck, and there's also interesting point that it's going back and forth, and it's sort of recreating that Zod look, but it's not Henry Cavill, it's Kara Zor-El. Uh, does that bring up the point to you guys where it's not the same timeline? It's got to be a different universe, right? Because just like season 2 of The Flash, when he goes into Earth 2, there's a second Barry, but in Flashpoint, he goes back in time and is the same person.
Well, I think in the trailer, um, I guess we'll say Barry Allen one because the one from the universe that we know, the Snyderverse, was talking to Michael Keaton like, what makes you want to stay in this universe in this timeline? And he's blatantly says is the one where I don't lose my mom. So she probably is in that timeline, possibly, and like from Flashpoint, in Flashpoint, the timeline that he was in, where the timeline that he was in, where his mom was alive, I think that was when Superman was captured and held underground away from the sun. Like they could be giving that storyline to Supergirl in this universe. Maybe that's why we never saw him in or saw her in the Michael Keaton Batman movies because she was trapped that entire time. So I think,
Well, they do allude to that with the outfit that she's wearing while they're surrounded by soldiers, and he says, "Don't die," and then she just goes ape.
Yep.
Well, you can
There's
see like her spine in the first scene where it kind of shows her like she's been malnourished, kind of. I
hidden from
guess,
the sun.
yeah.
Well, Flashman, what do you think? Do you think it's the timeline, or do you think it's a multiverse? Because there are two Barry Allens there.
So I'm leaning more to the multiverse. And, later in one of the short trailers, you get a clip of seeing all the suits that Michael Keaton's Batman has, right? And in that, you can see let's scroll down here. I listed them all out. Hold on. You've got the Nightmare suit. You've got the mech suit, both original suits from 89 and 92, the new suit for the movie, the assault suit, and the freaking blue and gray suit, which I geeked big time when I saw that.
And also to go to your to bring more proof to your pudding, it's if it was the same timeline, it'd be Ben Affleck. But this is a different multiverse, so it's got Michael Keaton, Birdman himself, the only notable role he's ever played.
I would agree.
So, with having said that, though, does this new multiverse, the one where Michael Keaton's in it, is that become the Gunn universe? Does he go back and fix the timeline, and that become the Zack Snyder Justice League? Does that become the Gunverse, or what are we thinking here?
You have to look at if that is Iris West that he's talking to in one of the scenes. If it is, that puts it back to the the Zack Snyder cut, because it looked like the same side profile of the actress that played her in the Snyder cut. So I would lean more towards being that.
I also thought that too. That one scene where someone's touching his face and we see that side profile. I was thinking that looks very Iris West-ish from the Justice League movies, but that also could be his mom. But I was also thinking too that the background didn't make sense. Like, why would his mom be consoling him in the convenience store? But I really think that is Iris West though. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see for the movie to see who that really was.
Yeah. So, when it comes to speculations at the end of the movie, do you think this is sort of like a rebirth of sorts for Ezra Miller? We don't have to go into all of his stuff that's going on, but do you think Barry One from Zack Snyder's Justice League like sort of sacrifices himself as he's training this new Barry to be our new Flash? Same actor, same character, different background. Does that make any sense?
It does.
Well, and I wonder too, is he going to have to, because it almost looks like the Barry of this universe, like we've got the Barry that we know as the Flash from the Snyder universe. It almost looks like he's going back and meeting the other Barry, and the other Barry doesn't maybe not have powers.
They
So
said
are they
that.
Okay, so are they gonna have to recreate like in the Flashpoint comic and in the animated series.
That's
They had
what
to
it looks
recreate
like.
everything.
So you
So that would
saw
be cool.
this, yeah, the scene where he was lifted up and the bolt was coming through both of them, I
Yeah.
think is the interlude to that. I mean,
And at the very end when they're in the plane, they're both
Yeah.
wearing a suit.
Do you think this is? I know we don't want to go too much in the realm of spoilers because they've leaked who the villain is. Do you think that this movie's got so much in it right now you can't bring in a new supervillain like the Reverse Flash, give him a name and a character arc?
no, it's already so packed with everything going on. I mean, it would just become muddled. As
But
much
would
as
you
I'd love to
welcome
see
it?
it. Oh, I would love
Yeah.
to see it. I would. But is it going to take away from the overall story when you start adding so many people? It's so many characters. Who knows? I'd watch it if either way. How's that?
Does this also take place at a different time? Because if this is an alternate universe and Zod's attacking and there's no Superman, is this, are we going back 10 years in the past to when Zod originally attacked? Or like what's the timeline of where the Snyder Barry is landing to meet his alternate self?
That'll be interesting to find out.
All right. Did anybody notice the scene with Ben Affleck's Batman on the cycle, on the Bat cycle? Did you notice that it had the reminiscence? What's the word I'm looking for? The
And resembled.
reminiscence or resembled the cycle from the Dark Knight. I think
I
that was
thought
a
so.
throwback towards that universe as well. And
And
he's
also
wearing a
think,
gray
too-
and blue suit.
Yeah, and I also think too that Bat Cycle there was also based on a little bit from the Gotham Knight series, or not Gotham Knight, sorry, White Knight series.
Yeah.
That cycle in there was, I think, two wheel too.
And it had those huge wheels too.
It was pretty cool to see that. We got to talk about the ring.
Oh yeah.
Like the Flash finally has the ring suit, and that's the only way I know to put it. So I'm intrigued to see how the CGI is with that. And
Well, if it's anything like they did in Zack Snyder's Justice League, like when he ran back in time, that'll be interesting to see. And maybe this goes on top of that though, because in this trailer, when he's running, he's got yellow lightning.
he does.
In both Justice Leagues, he had blue lightning. Like, so is maybe the new yellow lightning is the new Barry or something like that.
So my thoughts on that were blue lightning means he hasn't tapped fully into the Speed Force and hasn't traveled through time. So maybe in Zack Snyder's cut, when he jumped time like he did, that's what set him off into the yellow Speed Force.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's sort of like a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was also interesting too that I really liked the new 52 Flash suit that they showed him wearing with like the lightning all around, and I thought that was cool.
Yes. So
Yeah, and this is just the first trailer too. I was also
It
gonna
is.
pull it up and was like, that CGI on that kind of was off, but like I said, first trailer, so
yeah.
I'm pretty sure when they fine tune stuff, it's gonna look a lot better than it did in the trailer.
What do you guys think of the Bat Flash suit that Barry 2, like that they've pushed out? What do you guys think of like the ears cut off, the spray paint?
I hope we see it in the movie. That's what I hope. Concerned that a lot of times you see stuff in trailers and then it gets nixed on the cutting room floor, and that's going to be one of them.
But it looks like he's in it for like at least in the bat plane, like showing it off. And
Maybe.
I know we all went and saw Justice League
Justice.
together. And we walked out, and going into that movie, I was like, God, I thought the Flash was going to be funny. He's freaking annoying.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, it dialed him back. I mean, there wasn't any like pratfalls and Wonder Woman bazoombas. Like, but do you think that they brought it back? But do you think two of them together are going to go back to that annoyance level, or do you think they worked out that character flaw? In my opinion,
I would hope
think-
that Barry 1 is more mature and knows how to handle Barry 2. Is my hope.
And I'm hoping that there'll be some good dynamic between the two of them too, that some good comedic relief between the two of them.
Bat Drew, what would you love to see in this? Would you like to see all of the Batmen come together?
I feel like at the end of this movie, I think General Zod's gonna be if not the main bad guy protagonist to the story. I think he's going to be a big part of the third act, and I would love to see everyone on the screen at the same time fighting him. Kara, Supergirl, Barry 1, Barry 2, Keaton Batman, Affleck Batman. I'll throw in some more League members. That would just make my mind explode for if that happened in this movie. But yeah, that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see all these characters that we're seeing here. I want to see them all teamed up together and end this somewhat crisis in this movie. And I'd love to see where this is going to go. This really has me excited for the DCU future because this is, I think, the movie that's going to pretty much reset and start the DCU.
If we have to, we can probably create a second Zoom link just to cap off with whatever.
A what link?
Zoom link.
Zoom.
At the end of the day, I know there's a lot of other heroes showing up, a lot of other both past characters and new characters, but I really hope that they stick at least the 75-25 to it truly being a Flash story. I'm excited for both Batmen to be in the movie, but it's a Flash movie. I hope it continues to be a Flash movie. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Green Lantern is saying, yes, this is a Flash movie. I really think the driving force behind this is going to be like both. I think both Bruce Waynes are going to be his mentor in this, being like he's going to be like, Bruce, if you can go back in time and change it, would you? And then Bruce is going to be like, yes, but you have to be prepared for the consequences that may arise from that. So I think a lot of the story is going to be the heartache of, if you could go back, would you change things or stick to how things are, even though how much it may hurt?
I think one question I'm going to have is it going to bring back, is it going to have any sort of semblance to the scene in The Flash or the, what was it, Crisis on Infinite Earths that they did on the CW where Ezra Miller met Grant Gustin? I want to see that. But it's going to be interesting moving forward with Ezra Miller's casting in this DCU because James Gunn tweeted out, I cannot wait to show you this. I loved it so much. So this movie had that much of an impact with Andy Muschietti of It fame impact on it. So I'll be interested to see that.
So my only question, I mean, realistically, that I have for this whole thing is, are we relying so much on nostalgia? Or are we just hoping that it's going to be good because of who's in it? Or are we hoping that, they actually did it right and did it true justice?
I'm hoping that it's going to be good. Yes, for nostalgia reasons too, but also they're pulling from source material, the Flashpoint Paradox, which was probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest comic book story arcs that I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
So they have a lot to pull from, a lot of good stuff, and I just hope that they do it right.
So moving forward, that does raise the question of which Flash it's going to be. But I think another big statement that's made with this is your superpowered heavy hitter. I mean, Kara Zor-El, is this putting the stamp that, hey, those who liked Henry Cavill, sorry?
I think so. It's see ya. What can we do about it? So I'm okay with the new change personally.
Yeah, I think she's got a lot of potential. Well, we haven't seen anything other than what's in the trailer.
Correct.
But just from the trailer, I'm hyped to see how she's going to add to the story.
Yeah.
The suit looked awesome. I loved her suit.
Yeah, so I did a little research on that for myself. So that suit is actually the suit that Laura Lane Kent wore in one of the earlier or latest comic renditions, but it's definitely Kara. It's not Laura Lane.
Yeah, because they actually said Kara in the trailer. But her look does, like you said, resemble a lot of their son.
It's almost identical. Yeah.
There's no blonde. I mean, every Kara we've seen is blonde, Power Girl included.
Yeah, just think of Aquaman, what he originally looked like in the comics, and then Jason Momoa, and everyone loved Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I'm up for changing it if it works.
If it's for the better, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So do you guys think this is in the universe of Batman 89, or do you think it's just in a side multiverse where Michael Keaton is still Batman, but it's not 89 with Jack Nicholson's Joker and Danny DeVito's Penguin?
Penguin. Well, if we're going to the original '89 Keaton Batman, technically, I think even the sequels where Val Kilmer and George Clooney reprised the role, I think that was still the same universe.
But did he
So
have
maybe
plastic surgery?
sure,
You're not supposed to notice that detail.
but
That's pretty major detail.
Bat
Major detail.
nipples.
I just think that the majority of this is going to take place in a multiverse timeline where Michael Keaton is a Batman, but it's not directly the '89, '92 universe that we all know and love. Because if it was exactly that universe, there would be a lot of people being like, "Nope, he didn't do that. No, he should know that, or he should know this, or where's the Batgirl? Where's Robin and stuff like that."
Yeah, but does that create the question that Val Kilmer and George Clooney's Batmans were in separate multiverses?
I would think so.
Well, another thing too is, are Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman both Bruce Wayne, or are they going to go the Flashpoint and maybe Michael Keaton is Thomas Wayne?
Man, don't excite my very
Because
heart, because I would probably have a heart attack if that happened. He's like, I'm not Bruce, I'm Thomas. I'll be like, ah! He did have one of those suits in his cave where he did have guns in there.
He did.
I mean, that would
And
be awesome.
but what about Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Because that, oh, I mean, then that means they recast him. But then again, they also recast Barry's dad. So there's that.
But yeah, I didn't even think about Thomas Wayne. If they did bring a Thomas Wayne into the story and it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Thomas Wayne, whew, man, I don't think I'd want to have to watch. I wouldn't have to watch another superhero movie. I'd be like, just let me watch this 3 times a day. I'll be fine.
But if it is Thomas Wayne that's supposed to be Bruce Wayne's father, wouldn't he be like, "You look different"? Yeah, sort of. I hope like would they address it like they did in Iron Man 2 when they're like, "Wow, Rhodey, you look different."
I mean, they could.
It's intriguing.
Well, also in the Flashpoint paradox, Thomas Wayne never actually got to meet the Bruce Wayne that was continuing in that storyline. It was just, this is from your dad, but another universe's dad. It would hit the same note.
What? But in that's when the Flash told Thomas, he's like, "Your son's doing like almost the exact same thing you're doing." So and that does bring up the point in the like even the first lines of the trailer was like time runs in a circle, it brings people together. The same thing happens over and over again. Yeah, but I'm just wondering, how did him running back and changing stuff or even jumping multiverses? Because I think the multiverse, if it is going to be a big reveal. How does him doing that? Does he just go to a multiverse where there's no metas, or does he go back in time not creating metas? Because it's leaving out the Amazons because those aren't metas.
Well,
You know,
Kryptonians aren't metas.
and now there are the fish people, aqua people.
Well, even in the trailer, you said he went to a universe where there are no metas, so he needs the help and to become a meta.
But he said he went back in time and created a world where there were no metas.
Yeah, and I think that's the world that he was in that he was talking about, right?
Is that
Hence-
implying that he
hence
lost
needing
his
the-
powers when he went?
I'm thinking so because that lightning didn't just go through one barrier; it went through both. So maybe
Yeah.
they both needed that lightning to get the powers going.
Or maybe
that-
it
does
just
that-
transferred to Barry 2 and out of Barry 1.
And does that mean
Yeah,
that Barry is the catalyst for all other metas? Then, like a world without the Flash is a world without metas.
You'd have to look at all the other metas that they brought into that universe. Like, would you consider Weasel a meta or just a freak?
Where'd they
Deadshot.
bring Weasel?
I'm just saying because if Weasel's in the same as the Snyderverse or whatever, is that just a freak, just like Killer Croc was, or Diablo? Is Diablo a demigod? I think he's a demigod.
But that does bring a good point, and I know we've mentioned it a lot. But everything's in a circle. Hashtag Trevor, everything's full circle.
It's a
But,
circle. It's a circle.
Uh, does he go back in time, and him going back in time creates this universe, and then they're just forever to go parallel, or does he hop to another universe?
Where was the conception of time? Is what you're saying?
No, where was the conception of the universe?
Like, did Barry create this universe, or was this universe already there and he ran into it?
Yeah, because if we're thinking about like the TV show, The Flash, Barry can't enter alternate universes without the either some kind of technology or Cisco or a metahuman that has that ability. So it'd be interesting to see what their take is on this.
He can vibrate his frequency, yes.
So I got a question. Where do y'all
Yeah.
think this is actually taking place? Is it in Central City? You think it's more Gotham? What are we thinking?
Gotham. It's got to be Gotham. I mean, he went to go help, or he went to find Batman, and also just saying this, Barry too. Oh my God, that's Batman. So Batman does exist. It's not like he's existing in the shadows, which but it's the urban legend that Barry is aware of.
I think in the beginning of the movie, like we might be the Snyder Justice League universe that we just got out of. That's going to be taking place in Gotham with Ben Affleck's. Like that's going to be their Gotham. And then I think when they transfer over to Central City and then find Batman, it'll be Keaton's Gotham. So it'd be two different Gothams, but I think at first they're going to be separate, but eventually I think he's going to find a way to bring everyone into one. At least, if not permanently, at least for to the sake of the story to help out at the end.
Yeah,
Well,
almost like he's talking to Ben Affleck's Batman, and then whatever happens to put him in this alternate universe timeline, he meets his former or his counterpart and says, "Hey, I know a guy in Gotham. He can help us." And then they go, and it's not Ben Affleck, it's Michael Keaton. And he's like, "You're not Batman." He's like, "Yes, I
He's
am."
like, "But who are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Batman." And like Barry 2 is like, "Oh crap, it's Batman." Barry 1's like, "Okay, you say you're Batman, but I know what a Batman looks like."
Well, what brought this up is I noticed in the trailer that it's Martha Wayne's Institute where the ground is actually caving in, and there's a Gotham City Fire Department ambulance sitting there.
Hmm.
So
well,
it's just one of those
well,
curiosity.
Gotham is right across the bay from Metropolis. So I mean, if it's alien attack, they're going to be like going everywhere. They're not going to be like, "Hey, stay out of Gotham." Like they got a scary bat guy. Is Michael Keaton's Batman going to put a bomb down a Kryptonian's pants and kick him into a sewer, like he did like he did in Batman Returns?
You can only hope.
Hope.
How do you think Batfleck's fighting style in Batman v Superman and Michael Keaton's fight, where he dives into action in the trailer, do you think they're going to be very similar? Because Michael Keaton's up there. He's not young and spry like Affleck.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be more methodical.
Like more
I mean,
comic.
at least,
It's
yeah,
not
more
going to be
comic.
It's not going to be as gritty as it was in Batman v Superman, and it's not going to be as funny as pow, blam.
We're definitely not going to see Michael Keaton, punch somebody into a brick wall or like punch somebody and like you just hear their bones crack. But I think, maybe Keaton's Batman uses more like a Steven Seagal method, like counterattacks and then using the opponent's momentum against them. Because, like you said, he is an older Batman in this movie. But I mean, not to sound corny or anything, but he is Batman, so he can still kick ass.
Well, I liked watching him actually fly down and actually do what
Yeah,
he does. You know, we never saw Batfleck truly use the cape. Not that I can remember. I could be wrong in that, but
Yeah.
now we saw him
But
going
Go
through
ahead.
the air with the cape flowing, but no, not
never
actually
truly
utilizing
flying.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think there's going to be a big point. I'm going to stop talking about Batman after this because it is a Flash movie. There has to be, in some way, a nice nod to Adam West in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's like Michael Keaton hits somebody and goes "pow," I would be okay with that. But I mean, that's a generation, like not just our generation, but our grandparents maybe and our parents grew up watching, and I think that would be a nice way to, because it's encapsulating a lot of DC lore from the last 50 to 60, 70 years.
Even if they did to switch complete universes, even if they pulled like a Doctor Strange, and when they first revealed Professor X, and he goes "Da-na-na-na-na-na," to me, I was like, "Oh my God, that was the best part of the movie for me." If they did something with like even the soundtrack, just to
But what if on the back of that, what if while he's like running through timelines, he stops in one and it's like the 1960s and he sees like Batman climbing up like he sees in this weird room, sticks his head out the window, and there's Adam West climbing up.
like as he's running through the timeline,
That
Yeah.
would be hilarious.
or he sees Adam West like surfing.
He grabs the shark repellent.
Or like he's
Yeah.
running through the water and it knocks him off the surfboard.
The heel touch between the two flashes. I mean, that's a black and blue suit. and I, for the life of me, couldn't figure that one out. I was hoping to get y'all's input on that one.
Well, what if?
Is
What
that
if
Barry too?
What if Barry 2 is the Dark Flash,
That's
and he?
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
kind of what I thought.
and what if it's Eobard Thawne, and it's just he wanted to be Barry so much he went back and killed Kid Barry and became Barry.
That
Did he,
totally does seem like a reverse Flash thing to do.
Does. And that's what that scene actually looked like. It was a mirror image. So
Yeah, but I mean, if they're fighting, they're not going to be like, you know what? Let's touch tips.
or maybe they explain it that you can't have two of the same being in one universe for so long, or else one starts transforming. So maybe one starts dying or turns into the Black Flash or something. Who knows?
He kind of looks like the mix between a Wraith from the TV show and the Flash, and maybe that's their way to push off each other to run in different directions to go back to the timeline of sorts.
But yeah, that
Like,
caught my eye too, because
yes,
that black and blue looked really cool.
it did.
is it Zoom? Could it be Zoom? Because Zoom could be Zoom. I mean, Zoom was a Wraith at the end of season 2.
I'd be okay with it. My last question is: y'all notice the bridge architecture that when he runs across it in the scene resembles the front of the Hall of Justice?
I did not notice that.
Next time
I
you
did
watch it,
notice
look
was
at it.
I know it was arching. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, look at it. It resembles the Hall of Justice, and at least to me, I could be off, but I thought that was kind of neat nod.
Where's Wonder Woman and where's Aquaman and where's Cyborg? Or do they just not exist in this universe?
Ray Fisher is so done with DC. He does not want to be involved with James Gunn. So Cyborg, just forget about him, in my opinion. I don't
Barry
know.
Payton's time to shine.
Yeah,
Exactly, because they can't get you can't get a different actor. I mean, we didn't talk about that earlier, like with Barry's dad or anything like that.
I don't know. Maybe there's going to be like some mention of like the war between Amazons and Atlanteans or whatever. But I don't. Like Flashman was saying earlier. This is so star-studded. You can't really throw Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa in there for more than a mention at best.
Even though
if they
they were
have
slated to be in it, but their scenes got cut to make way for the DCU.
even if they have like a TV on in the background, like, and it's talking about the Amazon Atlantean War, I'm cool with that.
Well, I mean, Zod could see that and come down and be like, "Here's my chance to take over the world." When like the two warriors that could stop me are going at it with each other.
Or is and damn, we just keep going down rabbit holes. Does Zod know about Kara, and is he trying to like get her out to help him, or
Or
like
is he? Are they saying why? Are you saying pretty much why is Zod coming to Earth?
why is Zod coming to Earth, and how do him and Kara even end up being in the same area together? I mean,
She
does the government?
replaces Superman.
Yeah, but does the government know that she's a Kryptonian? Does the government also know that Zod's a Kryptonian? Like,
I can't remember. In Man of Steel, did Zod come to Earth because that's where the coordinates of the Kodak and the baby ship went, or is it just because something that Clark did reawoken them?
man, that was a long time ago. I honestly don't remember.
Wasn't he activated when he went into the Fortress of Solitude?
I think so. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened.
But if that was, then there would be no way for Zod to know about Kara if she's locked up in a government facility.
Yeah, I'm
Unless
intrigued.
somebody accesses it from the government. But
Like I said, trailer from start to finish, loved it. Especially the Keaton stuff, especially seeing Kara Zor-El.
yeah.
Still on the fence about the suits, but like I said, we'll see for the Flash. They're probably not done rendering stuff. I think it's gonna be better. But yeah, this trailer has definitely got me excited about this movie if I wasn't already, which I was.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Zod is just a spy balloon. Maybe that's what it really is.
That's a massive one.
And I'll be honest, to kind of counteract that, Drew, I really wasn't looking forward to this movie. Like months ago, I was kind of hoping they just scrap it and do something completely different. But after seeing the trailer, I'm hopeful again.
So there you have it, guys. That is our thoughts and opinions on the Flash trailer that aired right before the Super Bowl. What are you guys expecting? Are you guys excited to see it? Will you be in theaters the night of June 16th or maybe even before then? Anyway, we are Just Us Bros, and we're here to talk about all your favorite fandoms. Please like and subscribe. Join us in the chat. Comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. But for now, I'm Hokey Joker.
Yeah, I'm Batman.
I'm Green Lantern.
And thanks to our Scarlet Speedster correspondent who has the expertise on all things Barry Allen and the Speed Force.
Flashman.
Awesome, guys. Good night. Stay nerdy and cheers.